Good morning, everyone. Now, today we are doing the next topic of the lesson, some basic concept of chemistry. Now, we have the part 2 of the lesson, some basic concepts. Okay, some basic concept of the chemistry. So, the second part or the next heading for this is that some physical quantities. Okay, this is the next heading, that is the some physical quantities. Okay, so under this heading, the first one is mass and weight. Okay, this is the first heading, mass and weight. So what is the basic difference between mass and weight? Sometimes we are using both the word for the same meaning. Okay, but there is a difference between mass and the weight. Clear? Mass is designated by small m, and it is the amount of matter present in a substance. Mass is the amount of matter present in a substance. Clear? And it is designated by small m. Mass remain constant for a substance at all the places. Okay, mass remains constant. Clear? So mass remains constant for all the substances at all the places, and its SI unit is kilogram. The SI unit, this is the SI unit. Okay, so the SI unit of the mass is the kilogram, but in laboratories usually we are using the unit gram, because we don't require such a big or huge amount of a chemical in the laboratory. So we are using the unit gram in the laboratory. Clear? Now the second word is the weight. Clear? This is the mass. Now weight, what is weight? Weight is designated by small w. Weight is designated by small w, and it is the force. Weight is the force exerted by gravity. Weight is the force exerted by gravity on an object. On an object. Clear? Mass remains constant, but weight doesn't remains constant. So it vary from place to place. Clear? It vary from place to place. It varies from place to place due to change in gravity. Due to change in gravity. Clear? So it varies from place to place due to change in the gravity. And the unit of the mass is Newton or capital N. This is the unit of the mass. So weight is equal to, there is a formula for the weight. Weight is equal to mass into gravity. Mass multiplied gravity. M stand for mass and G stand for the gravity. So that is the basic difference between the mass and the weight. There it is the amount of matter. It remains constant. SI unit is kg. Okay. Whereas if we are talking about weight, it means we are talking about the gravity. Gravity. Okay. So it is a force. It is a force exerted by a gravity on an object. It varies from place to place. Your weight changes from one place to another place. And the formula for the weight is equal to mass into gravity. Clear? So now the second physical quantity is volume. Okay. So The space occupied by matter. What is volume? It is a space occupied by matter. The space occupied by matter is known as volume. Clear? And you can say it as a volume is equal to length cube or meter. That is a cubic meter or meter cube. So the SI unit, this is the SI unit. The SI unit of volume is cubic meter. Okay. Now the next term is density. Density. Okay. Density is the next term. So density of a substance is its amount of mass per unit volume. So density is equal to mass upon volume. This is a formula for density. To find out the density, we apply the formula density is equal to mass upon volume. That is SI unit of mass is kg. Volume is cubic meter. So kg, this is the unit of the density. Okay. Now the next one is temperature. Next is temperature. Clear? So there are three common scales to measure the temperature. The first one is degree Celsius. The first scale is degree Celsius. The second scale is Fahrenheit. And the third scale is Kelvin. This is degree Celsius. This is Fahrenheit. And this one is the Kelvin. So K is the SI unit. This one, Kelvin, is the SI unit. Kelvin is the SI unit of the temperature. The thermometer, based on the scales, there are various scales. So there are so many thermometers are there by which you can measure the temperature in the Kelvin scale, in the Fahrenheit scale, as well as in the degree Celsius scale. Okay, but the SI unit in the laboratories we are using, mostly we are using the term K for the temperature as a unit. That is, the meaning of K is the Kelvin. That is Kelvin. This is Kelvin. Okay, this one is the Kelvin. So Kelvin is equal to degree Celsius plus 273.15. If you want to 15. Okay, if you want to convert the temperature from degree Celsius to Kelvin. Okay, if you want to convert it, so degree Celsius temperature, which is already given to you, add 273 to that unit or to that value, then you can easily get the temperature in the Kelvin scale. By this formula, you can easily get the temperature in the Kelvin scale. Okay. Now the last one is the length. Length. Clear? So the SI unit of the length is meter. Meter is the SI unit of the length. And it is very common to express the length in the Armstrong also. Okay, और नैनोमीटर, आप इसको नैनोमीटर में भी बता सकते हैं, आर्मस्ट्रॉन्ग में भी बता सकते हैं. Even you can measure it in the picometer. Okay, but the SI unit for the length is the meter. Okay, so there are some general common terms. That is, 1 Armstrong is equal to 10 to the power minus 10 meter. 10 to the power minus 10 meter. 1 nanometer is equal to, okay, 1 nanometer, nm stand for the nanometer. 1 nanometer is equal to 10 to the power minus 9 meter. 1 picometer. Okay, picometer. This is PM. Small p and small m. That is picometer. Is equal to 10 to the power minus 12 meter. Clear? So it means that the SI unit for the length is the meter. Okay, but you can also measure the length in the Armstrong. 10 to the power minus 10 meter. Now 1 nanometer, that is equal to 10 to the power minus 9 meter. and 1 picometer, it means 10 to the power minus 12 meter. Clear? Now the next topic of this lesson is that is accuracy and precision. This is the next heading. Accuracy and the precision. Clear? So accuracy, this one. Accuracy is the agreement of a particular value. Accuracy is the agreement of a particular value to the true value of the result. Okay? Or it is a measure, or you can say in the simple term, you can say that it is a measure. Accuracy is a measure of difference between. Accuracy is a measure. It is a measure of difference between experimental value. Okay, experimental value or the mean value of a set of measurements and the true value. This is the meaning of the accuracy. So, accuracy is equal to mean value minus true value. By this way, you can find the accuracy. Clear? This is the meaning of the accuracy. Done? No, now, smaller the difference between the mean value and the true value. If there is a very small difference between the mean value and the true value, the larger is the accuracy. Okay, the larger is the accuracy. Now the second term is precision. This is the second term, precision. Okay, so it refers to the closeness of various measurement for the same quantity, or it is expressed as a difference between. It is expressed as a difference between measured value and the arithmetic mean value. It means precision is equal to, that is individual value minus arithmetic mean value. Arithmetic mean value. So this is the meaning of the precision. Clear? Now we have one very important topic of this chapter. Now the next topic is a very important topic of this chapter, and that is known as significant figure. That topic is called significant figure. Okay, so it is a very important topic, and there are certain rules to find out the significant figure. So first of all, start with the significant figure. So significant figure are meaningful digits. They are meaningful digits. Okay? Significant figures are meaningful digits which are known with certainty and uncertainty, indicated by writing the certain digit and the last uncertain digit. Clear? So it means that if we have a value, if we have a measurement of 49.6, if we have any value, any measurement, this is any measurement. Okay, let's assume this is any measurement. Its value, if the value of any measurement is 49.6. Clear? So we can say that this 49, it is a certain value, and this 6, it is a uncertain value. 49 is a certain value, whereas 6 is a uncertain, and its uncertainty would be, it may be plus minus 1. Its uncertainty would be plus minus 1 in the last digit. Therefore, the total number of digit in a number including the last digit whose value is uncertain is called the number of significant figure. Clear? Total number of digit present in any value. This is any value. So the total number of digit present in any value, whether they are certain or whether they are uncertain, they are considered as a significant figure. They are considered as a significant figure. Okay. For example, we have the number 3200. For example, we have any value 3200. So there are 4 significant figure in 3200. In 3200, there are 4 significant figure. Okay. Sorry, that is only 2. Here we have only 2 significant figure. But if the value is 3.200, so we have 4 significant figure, and here we have 2 significant figure. So how can you classify the number of significant figure, or how can you find out the number of significant figure? For that we have certain rules. Okay, for that we have certain rules to find out the number of the significant figure. So let us discuss the rules one by one. Rules for counting the number of significant figure. This is our new topic. Rules. There are certain rules to count the number of significant figure. Okay, there are rules to count the number of significant figure. Now let us discuss the rule. The first rule. Okay, the first rule is all non-zero digit. What is the meaning of non-zero digit? It means 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 except 0 are all other digit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So all the non-zero digit are significant. This is the first rule. For example, we have 285. How many significant figure are here? 1, 2, 3. 3 significant figure or significant number. You can say it as a significant figure or significant number. Okay, this is the first rule. The second rule is zeros between. Okay, the second rule is zeros between two non-zero digit. Zeros between two non-zero digit. Zeros between two non-zero digit are significant. Clear? Zeros between two non-zero digit are significant. Okay. So for example, we have a number 1007. So these are the two zeros. These are in between the two non-zero digit. Okay. So they are considered as a significant figure. So how many significant figure are here? Now count 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 significant figures are present in this value. Clear? This is this rule 2. Now third rule. Trailing zeros. Third rule is trailing zeros. Trailing zeros are significant. Trailing zero means the zero which are at last, the zeros which are present at last of the digit. Okay, so trailing zero are significant only if digit contains decimal. If digit contain decimal. Okay, so for example we have 1.560. so it is a trailing zero. Trailing zero means it is present at last and it is followed by the decimal point. So how many it is considered as a significant figure. So count the number of significant figure. 1 2 3 4. 4 significant figure are here. Okay, but if we have 450, if the condition is like this, we have 450. This is a trailing zero, but it is not having, this value doesn't have any decimal point. So there are only 2 significant figure. This one is not considered as a significant figure. So we have the 2 significant figure or significant number over here. Okay, so this is the third rule. Now the fourth rule. Leading zeros. Leading zeros are not significant. Leading zeros are not significant because their purpose is to simply to place the decimal point. Because their purpose is to simply place the decimal point. Okay, for example 0.05. 0.05. So this one is the leading zero. This one is the leading zero. Its purpose is only to assign the position of the decimal point. So here is only one significant figure and this one is the 5. Only one significant figure. Clear? So now the rule number 5. The rule number 5 is define values or counting number have infinite number of significant figure as these are exact number and can be represented by writing infinite number of 0 after placing a decimal point. Clear? This is the rule 5. But most important rule are these 4 rules. Done. With this we have done the topic significant figure. Clear? Now thank you.